Hi, my name is Leo Ortega, and I'm the CEO and founder of my company, Dorsum. What we do is we're solving the problem of lower back pain by creating personal body supports to promote better posture and reduce the risk of lower back pain. So, how I started the company was following curiosity and then an obsession about solving the problem, but also just getting feedback from people after they saw my concepts that there was potential and to keep pushing it forward. That's really why I decided to jump into entrepreneurship and ultimately building the company that I have now. So I first pitched back in 2018, April 3rd of 2018, at the first Pitch Latino event. I think I was one of the first cohorts. And I pitched there to the community, still very early in understanding how to pitch, how to explain the problem, how to show the prototypes I was building, and then how to put a story and a business model together. So I first pitched back in 2018. It felt, or pitching at the first Pitch Latino event, it felt a mix of various feelings, excitement, being nervous, but mostly feeling a little uncomfortable because I was used to talking about the design and what I was building. I wasn't used to talking about myself or my background. So the Pitch Latino event encouraged me to talk about my own personal story, being a Latino growing up in the US. So I felt a little uncomfortable talking about that and my business and the product I was building for the very first time. Pitching at Pitch Latino, the biggest value I received was to put a lot of components together. I went to design school, so I was used to solving and prototyping towards a solution of a problem. I didn't know much about putting a business model together or talking to customers or doing customer research, but the Pitch Latino helped me put everything together in a way that made sense for others, a way I could explain my vision, but also put a story behind what I was building. So the value was putting everything together and creating a story that was about my product, my business, that had a little bit about me as well. My company was very early when I first pitched. It was still considered concept stage. I had not even prototypes I could bring and show yet. It was renders and drawings. So it was still very early in the exploration. Compared to others that had products that they were showing and they were closer to being in business, I was very early. I still was in research and development. It took me about another year and a half until I completed my MVP that I was able to launch into the market. So it was very early stage. After pitching at Pitch Latino, it took me a year and a half to launch my product. I launched in what, looking back, can be considered a very terrible time. It was the beginning of the pandemic, and manufacturing a product and going into manufacturing, it was difficult because I launched via crowdfunding, so taking pre-orders. It took me about a year and a half to be able to manufacture my product. It was doubling the expected time. But since then, I was selling my first product into the market, getting customer feedback, getting customer reviews. And now I'm working on launching the second product, which is a much more advanced version of the first. But this now has more customer feedback. So it's a next step into the evolution of the product line that I'm building. The biggest advice I can share to all entrepreneurs, early stage, or even those that are later into their business, is to never stop doing customer discovery. I first thought it was something you only do at the beginning, but even now I'm talking to my customers and I'm discovering new things about them, new ways that the problem manifests in their life. So get really comfortable and fall in love with the customer discovery process and keep asking your testers or your customers questions about how you can improve their lives. Yeah, the biggest satisfaction about running my business and providing a product that helps to improve people's lives by reducing the pain they experience is when I'm able to get a customer order from people across the world, people I've never met and will probably never meet in my life. When I'm able to get an email or a review from them, learning about how my product has helped them, that has been the biggest reward about launching a business and creating a product. Knowing that you can help a complete stranger from the other side of the world, you can make their life a little better. Yeah, so my view on community has expanded and evolved since jumping into entrepreneurship. I look at community around my culture, so being a Latino, but I also being a first immigrant. community around startup in Portland. But now even my customers, my followers, people that see my product online, those that see something that I'm unable to see, and they follow and they contribute or they comment. Now I see community in all aspects, so much broader and much more diverse. Gracias, Pitch Latino. It has been a joy to be able to see the beginning and how far it's come up to this point.